Zuma Bridge in Anambra State will be completed in 3 months' time. The bridge will give access into the oil fields of Anambra State as well as make for easy evacuation of agricultural produce from the food basin of over 3 benefiting local government areas. Governor Willie Obiano says that the latest infrastructure will ensure that transportation will no longer be a challenge.
The 100-meter Umueje Bridge construction in Ayamelum local government area of Anambra State is a project that, when completed, will give access into the oil fields in the state. This is one of the many projects that has been executed since the administration of Governor Willie Obiano came on board. The people are happy to receive the governor, who is here to inspect the progress of the almost completed bridge project.
It's going to increase the avenues for business for Ayamelum and Agri people. If they are using, let's say, 1,000 naira to transport the commodity, after this bridge, I think it drop to like 200 naira.
There is no way you can go to Enugu without joining a flying boat or boats. But now we are seeing a different thing from Dr. Willie Obiano.
The governor expresses satisfaction over the quality of work and assures of early completion.
I'm very happy to be here this afternoon to inspect the hoisting of the beam. The last beam before they start doing the embankment that they will stand fill and now firm up before the 2 roads are joined. So in less than 3 months, Undumweje and the community around here will be able to pass over to the other side with ease.
The governor moves to inspect the 8-kilometer Omo Umumbo road that will support evacuation of major farm produce, especially rice.
Once there is access road, farm production will increase.
While the governor assures of supporting the project through proper funding, the member representing Oyi Ayamelum Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives is full of appreciation.
All we can say is thank you. All we can say is thank you, and all we can say is thank you.
The signature projects of Governor Willie Obiano in these riverine areas, especially the roads and bridges, are expected to boost agricultural activities and improve the economic base in the state.
Technomobile, a leading premium phone manufacturer in Africa, has held its 2018 Global Spring Launch. The event, which took place in Lagos, saw the unveiling of 2 camera-centric smartphones, the Camon X and Camon X Pro.
Many African nations are represented here at the global spring launch of the Camon X and Camon X Pro models of Technomobile. Makers promise revolutionary camera advancements to take the selfie experience beyond what users have known.
You can adjust your flashlight. In different circumstances, you can adjust it to get the best selfie effect.
Partners to the brand explain how they helped make the new features possible.
Let me specifically talk about the Helio Pt.3 processor. This is the chipset that is inside your Camon X and Camon X Pro. It actually increases the performance from the last year generation while keeping the power consumption at check.
With the operating system, what we've done is basically optimized every single layer all the way from the core code to the system UI to make sure that it is optimized for space and that we optimized also for performance.
The unveiling of the Camon X and X Pro phones is as entertaining as it is energetically delivered, with a performance by dancer Kafi and her group. Techno is pretty sure, after studying the market, that camera-centric phones is the way to go.
The selfie on the Camon X Pro is 24 megapixel. 24 megapixel, and it shoots clear selfie. And what this clear selfie does is that it can even shoot in portrait mode, meaning the picture you take can even function if you want to use the passport in an embassy. It's that good.
The Camon X Duo debuted a new Face ID feature to unlock the phones. Consumers can expect to see them in retail stores across the nation from the last week in April.
In South Africa, former President Jacob Zuma has been charged with corruption linked to a 1990s arms deal. After the 75-year-old's 15-minute appearance at the High Court in Durban, the case was adjourned until June the 8th, when Mr. Zuma's legal team and state prosecutors agreed to the postponement. Mr. Zuma faces 16 counts of corruption, racketeering, fraud and money laundering, which dogged his presidency and were reinstated in 2016.
Former President Jacob Zuma's day in court. He's facing 16 of 18 charges of fraud, corruption, money laundering and racketeering. There are 783 counts representing the number of times bribe money was allegedly paid into his account in an arms deal. Mr. Zuma arrived in court ahead of schedule. The courtroom was filled to capacity with mostly his supporters who chanted his name when he entered. He appeared alongside Ms. Christine Gourier, a representative of the co-accused, a French defense company. Given the background of the case, the counsel for the state, Willie Downer, requested an adjournment because of a number of reasons, which include providing the accused with copies of the docket and also to give room for an application for a review of the decision to try him in the first place, brought by the defense for Mr. Zuma. The state requested a trial date to be set for November the 12th, 2018, which the defense is yet to accept.
Of course, on the 8th of June, everyone will be in a better position to work out where the matter proceeds from there. And then, my Lord, the reference to trial and the 12th of November that was suggested, my Lord, that is really a matter which will have to be discussed on the next occasion. So for now, we just record that we're not agreeing to any subsequent enrollment until we're here on the 8th of June when the matter is reassessed. That is our position.
For the reasons advanced by counsel for the state in agreement with the defense, this matter is adjourned to the 8th of June 2018, which is a provisional date.
After the proceedings, the former president walked through to the massive crowd of supporters waiting for him outside the court. Speaking in isiZulu, he says he is the victim here, wounded by the people he grew up with.
If this crowd was the judge of that case in court, it may just be an open and shut case in favor of Mr. Jacob Zuma, but then it is not. Back to legal reality, the case has been adjourned to a provisional date of June the 8th, 2018, and both accused have been released on warning to make themselves available at the next court date. From the Durban High Court, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, Betty Dibia, Channels Television News.
And it's time now for business news on the news at 10 with Emana Amawe.
Thank you, Gimba. Welcome to Business News. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has awarded 2 out of 3 gas pipeline deals worth more than $2.8 billion. According to the NNPC, the contract for about 200 kilometers out of the 614 kilometers at the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano pipeline and other stations was awarded to the listed Owando Nigeria PLC and unlisted Oilserve Limited. Meanwhile, another stretch of about 200 kilometers was given to a partnership between China Petroleum Pipeline Bureau and Brentex. Nigeria's new economic direction under the Buhari administration was a major focus at the just concluded 2018 edition of the Africa CEO Forum in Côte d'Ivoire. A panel consisting of Nigerians in governance, business and investments discussed on subjects ranging from banking and investments to energy and agriculture. The chief executive of Citibank Nigeria, Mustafa Daudu, and the head of the Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission, Yewande Sadiku, shed some light on the country's exchange rate and industrialization.
As Nigerians, and there are quite a few Nigerians here, we are obsessed by the exchange rate as a people. It's the truth. Nigerians take the exchange rate far more seriously than interest rates. The political cost of exchange rate instability is far greater than high interest rates, which is what explains the dynamic you see in the economy today. So it's not, the government only reflects the population. So I suppose it's a national thing. We're very much into exchange rates.
How fast you move is a function of the reality that you meet on the ground. I personally, and this is my personal view, think that there are many things that we can do much faster, but you have to deal in the context of the resources that you have. So if I ignore the speed for a minute and I look at the direction in which Nigeria is going now, I think directionally, and this is where we started the conversation about turning the corner, except I don't think it's a sharp corner, so you will not see the results overnight. But directionally, I think the Nigerian government is intent on encouraging the private sector to drive economic development, encouraging entrepreneurship, encouraging industrialization, and encouraging the value addition of Nigeria's resources, whether they're human or, mineral.
And one day after the Nigerian Stock Exchange's general index posted a gain on the back of unchanged key monetary policy benchmarks, the market turned negative today to end a largely uneventful trading week. Let's join Chimezie Obiwagu for details.
Thank you for joining us on the Stock Market Report. Thursday's positive trading couldn't be sustained today as the all-share index reversed back into the red. The market started quite positive and remained upbeat even at past midday, with the consumer goods sector driving the positive sentiment. However, losses recorded by oil and gas giants Mobil, Total and Forte Oil 30 minutes to the close of trading dragged the all-share index down by 0.08%, while that sector index lost by a whopping 2.43%. Traders say the market could have managed to close positive if Dangote Cement did not shed 10 kobo of its price. However, they believe market fundamentals are still good, considering the volume and value traded. They maintain that the market has bottomed out after prices got to their resistance levels. They expect some stability next week. And that was the Stock Market Report. I'm Chimezie Obiwagu.
In the meantime, stock prices finished negative in Europe, but the declines are much steeper on Wall Street, while cryptocurrencies were dragged down along with crude oil prices. No thanks to U.S. President Donald Trump, who raised the tempo of the ongoing multi-billion-dollar trade war between Washington and Beijing. These are the details of the figures for the day. And that's Business News Tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Emana Amawe.